Congratulations, my children! I have realized that we don't check in enough with Marvel's classic horror characters. So starting this year, we will rectify that with more regular appearances. Beginning, of course, with the living mummy. When last we left Encanto, Warrior King, who had been entombed for 3,000 years, only to be awoken again when the paralyzing potion used on him finally wore off, he was fleeing from the police who sought to end his existence once and for all. Despite bullets having no effect on the undead being. However, he quite literally vanished down an alleyway. So, where has he disappeared to? Why, outer space, of course! You know, that old mummy cliché. Encanto finds himself transported to an alien world, momentarily believing that he is being transported to the afterlife. Until a bunch of earth monsters rise up and attack him. They strike and grasp and claw and pull at the aged being, but even wrapped up in decayed bandages, he is a warrior, and he will never yield to such attacks. Still, he can only think of all the violence that he has experienced since waking up in a museum. Being shot at, fighting muggers, the police. Will this mummy ever know peace? Well, not for a while, since after the ground creatures finally retreated to the dirt, he is beset upon by living miniature tornadoes. These new attackers are allied with volcanic bursts from the ground that spray molten fire upon him. Still, such fire does not burn off his bandages. Instead, a foul, heavy rain hits him until he is too weary to fight the returning earth creatures. He is captured and brought to a palace, one for the gods, as Encanto speculates. And the gods are apparently very eclectic in their fashion senses. Skulls, capes, and green women in bikinis. And with a mummy there too, this has suddenly become my kind of place. Using their power, these masters and lords of the elements communicate with Encanto, explaining that they brought him here. They are the elementals who made their presence felt on Earth even before the time of Atlantis. They attempted to expand their influence across the entire Earth, but were stopped at Egypt. A young warrior named Don joined forces with a wizard named Garrett. They combined their souls and power into a ruby gem shaped like a scarab that sapped the elementals of their powers and banished the elementals to this planet. They wish to return to Earth and claim it as their own. They want Encanto to retrieve the ruby for them, offering to return Encanto to true life again for his help. But Encanto, while tempted, refuses to help enslave anyone ever again. They attack Encanto, demand his service, but it is only the aforementioned bikini, or rather wind elemental, Zephyr, who can use her own powers to take control of Encanto and dispatch him for their task. He is sent back to Earth to a pyramid being studied by a man named Professor Abdol. He is ordered to take the scarab, even if he must kill him. Meanwhile, on the subject of scarabs, Dr. Scarab, the Egyptologist who originally found Encanto, has some kind of psychic link with him that allows him to know that the mummy is back in Egypt. I wonder if it also told him about the mummy being in space. Meanwhile, Encanto begins his advance on the pyramid, to the horror of this guard. And I'd be pretty scared too, considering the mummy's arms apparently expanded and grew like twice their normal size. Will the living mummy retrieve the ruby and set free the elementals? Will he ever be free of the control of others? Or perhaps even return to true life? Well, we'll see about that next year, my children.